HIS003, or also known as Maas Kamlan, is a Tausug who rose against the government during the Second World War for its land dispute reform, because the government overthrew his complaints against it, and the people there are ignorant for such land titles. He fought 25 members at that time. So Moro wins against Japanese occupation. Colonizers were unable to colonize the whole Mindanao for the braveness that is Moro gives toward the place. And by that, the people there end up being happy and live in a positive mood, positive way of life. Involvement of Moro in both houses of Congress in 1946. Considering Moro's right to participate in the government in both nationalist party ruled by President Manuel Quezon and Sergio Osmeña on 1935 to 1946, and the Liberal Party ruled by Manuel Rojas and Senate President Pro Tempore Ilpidio Quirino on 1946. Kamlon uprising broke out in 1951. Dato Haji Kamlon, or also known as Mas Kamlon, was a Tausug who fought during the Second World War. And afterwards, he staged his own uprising against the government, investigating of cause and circumstances of the Kamlon Rebellion by the Senate Committee. The investigation wasn't successful enough for a fact that every time they asked questions, they would probably say, "Wa mi kay baw ahan na siya, wala mi idea, ahan na siya pangitaon." Because the people built such empathy towards Kamlon, and some says na si Kamlon daw kuno kay nay anting-anting or amulet, that's why dili siya magdali og takop. And along this report, one of the investigators who scrutinized Haji Kamlon's rebellion, it is initiated, or the report itself was the discussion about the integration.
Now let's talk about the Alonta report and how did it lead to the integration programs of the Philippine government in the post-war period. So first, we need to know who is Alonta and what made him and his members initiated the discussion about the integration. Senator Dumukao Alonta of Lanao is one of the 100 great Muslim leaders in the 20th century, and he was a master grand supporter of any Islamic movements in the Philippines. He is also a senator representing the Muslims in the municipal regions, and he is one of the members in the committee that work on the integration together with other Moro namely Congressman Luminog Mangilan of Cotabato and Congressman Ombra Milbangsa of Sulu. Now let me discuss the Alonta report in the class. So if you guys remember about the Kamalan uprising, it is actually the main reason on why this Alonta report was created. So Alonta and his other members wanted the government to be aware of the situation and work on this integration so that it would help the Moro and other IPs to lessen their problem. He analyzed the situation and submitted his views on policy integration of the Philippine government to clarify the hidden reality of their governance. This integration that they initiated implies that the government should respect Muslim and other IPs Filipino rights in their land, and if possible, settlers must be stopped. Alonta defines this integration as means to foster, accelerate, and accomplish by all adequate means in a systematic, rapid, and complete manner for the advancement of the national cultural minorities. So he wants the Philippine government to acknowledge their problems and work for the integration of the development in terms of cultural, social, economic, and in education. So with this report, it became so influential to everyone in the government, and it made them change their perspectives on the Moros and other cultural minorities. And then it eventually passed in the legislation to create agencies that would help in the integration. These agencies were Mindanao State University, the Commission on National Integration, and the Mindanao Development Authority.
Good afternoon. Today we are going to tackle about the role of MSU in National Integration Program. Due to the question formulated by Alonta's report, which is inculcating into Muslim minds that they are Filipinos and this government is their own and they are a part of it, the government decided to establish an academic institution. Since inculcating is connected to education, this academic institution was then named Mindanao State University, which has the task of educating the Muslims and other minorities. Mindanao State University was made possible through Republic Act 1387, which was signed into law by President Magsaysay on June 19, 1955. The implementation of MSU was delayed due to the difficulty of finding the right man as the first president of MSU. On September 1, 1961, Antonio Isidro was appointed as the first president of MSU by President Carlos P. Garcia. The role of MSU was not only to provide education but also to serve as a social laboratory for diverse students. That is why a general rule was created that if two individuals were from the same province, they cannot be roommates in the university's dormitory. General mandate of MSU. There are 3 general mandates of MSU that may be seen in its charter. First, the university is an instrument of the government policies in the southern region of the Philippines, which is Mindanao. The university must help promote the program of education to accelerate the integration of national minorities into the Philippine body politic, particularly the Moros. The university must provide extensive professional and technical training and undertake research in native Filipino culture. The word integration used by the authors of MSU Charter does not mean assimilation. Rather, integration refers to the process of making the Moros and other IPs feel that they are Filipino.
What was the Commission on National Integration and what became of it after more than a decade of existence? So, The Commission on National Integration, it was established in 1995 as a result of two bills introduced in the Philippine Congress, lower house. Both plans called for the establishment of an organization to oversee the integration process. Congressman Luis Hora of Mountain Province 3rd District introduced one of the bills, while Congressman Dumacao Alonto, Obra M. Amilbangsa, and Luminog Manghilin introduced the other. Republic Act number 1888. For the first time in the Republic, the statute establishing the Commission for National Integration was enacted. The Commission was given 17 different authorities, tasks, and responsibilities. The CNI was charged with two objectives. According to the functions, progress and the integration of people who were then officially classed as national cultural minorities. The committee's report, also known as the Manahan Report, it visually depicted these issues as they saw them as well as the CNI employees. The study also said that indigenous people had not only been neglected but that their rights had also been violated. The committee recognized 5 major categories of challenges that indigenous people face. The committee was adamant in the report about the importance of agricultural issues and their role in the Muslim-Christian relationship. The CNI has several achievements, but it was beset also with problems. However, its attempt to aid ethnic minorities in their land claims through its legal assistance program failed due to the litigants or claimants' inexperience and the sluggish turn of the wheel of justice. As it were, as a lack of finances, according to its charter, the CNI was intended to receive 5 million pesos each year to fund its initiatives, but only half of the 5 million was guaranteed. President Ferdinand E. Marcos formed Panamin to advise him on non-Muslim minorities, while CNI continued to serve Muslims despite the fact that both bodies had a distinct area of interest. Panamin was regarded as competitor of the Commission in gaining national attention and much-needed extra money. Cesar A. Mahul assessed the Commission thus, leaving aside some of the Commission for National Integration successes, the fact that the Muslim sectionist movement began to sprout in the 1960s, demonstrate that it failed to integrate the majority of the Muslim community into the political system.
So, hello everyone, my name is Rick Vincent Jetok. So we're going to be talking about the Mindanao Development Authority, or MDA, and what became of it after several years of existence. So to start off, to complement MSU and CNI, the government also created the Mindanao Development Authority, or MDA, to effect the economical development of Mindanao. So, just like CNI na ay Republic Act of 1888, the MDA was also based on two bills. So consolidated and signed into law at Republic Act of 3034, signed by President Carlos P. Garcia in the year 1661. So the first bill was signed by Congressman Feliciano Ocampo of the 2nd District of Nueva Ecija in February 21, 1961. The second bill was also co-authored by 11 congressmen from the Municipal region and introduced in April 6, 1961. Since diaprubahan na ang MDA, or Mindanao Development Authority, so it is now formally a public corporation, and its principal functions were: so first is to draw up comprehensive and short-term plans and programs for regional development. The second is to coordinate and integrate the activities of both public and private sectors. The third is to extend or facilitate the extension of financial, management, and technical support to the industrial and commercial ventures in the region, and to undertake by itself or in joint venture with the private sector of agro-industrial commercial pioneering ventures. So in short, the principles that were introduced is to implement plans and programs para ma-facilitate nila ang financial, management o technical support sa industrial and commercial development sa Mindanao. However, after putting their plans into reality, the MDA came across some problems that affected projects in the future. So the first problem the Mindanao Development Authority came across is that there was a frequent turnover of the management leadership of the agency. So ilis-ilis ang ilang ilang management leadership sa ilang agency. And the second problem that they came across was it was not given a sufficient amount of fundings. So out of 132 million nga ilang madawat unta, so it was just 24 million. So lastly, the MDA's board directors had not been constituted on a permanent basis. So pasabot aning is wala man nang sila'y trabaho nga permanent, wala man may trabaho sa ilang wala man nang sila on duty sa ilang agency. So during the Mindanao Rebellion in 1973, the Mindanao was identified as a priority area to massive developmental efforts. So ang plan sa gobyerno nga gitawag as Developmental Plan for the year 1974 to 1977 to create the Mindanao Regional Development Project or MRDP along with the Manila Bay Ring Development Project. So, ang proposal sa MRDP was to create an infrastructure that would attract foreign investors in Mindanao. So, ang ilang plan is to create a wide range of infrastructure including highways, ports, power generation, and industrial states. So, sa ilang project, kailangan nilang massive transformation sa countryside. Along with this project, they're affecting the communities that happen to occupy the lands that identified as a project sites resulted in their displacement and further marginalization.